Hello, folks, and welcome back. A quick little break, perhaps a little bit longer than our last break that you didn't even see, but Siena College versus Iona College is going to be next up on the platter. Dryad, tell us a little bit about these teams.
Yeah, so again, all the opposite scores that we look at, but this time it's not a 4-0 and a 0-4. This time it is a little bit different. Both of them have taken some losses. It's going to be 3-1-1-3. And that is a really good indication. We can have more opportunities between Siena College and Iona College.
Yeah, it's going to be Siena a little bit more dominantly at that
Yeah.
3-1 Iona with the 1-3. And now this is not necessarily one of those, checkpoint matches that I was talking about a little bit earlier, but now Iona has the chance to, perhaps shake up their map differential, which can go into
Yeah.
effect as well. That can be a very powerful factor in placements coming here. When scores are, still kind of wide, but not as wide, you might expect Iona College might be able to snake a map or two off Siena in a way that we wouldn't necessarily expect Alabama and Connecticut to have gone in our previous matchup.
Yeah, definitely. And it is again, it is the possibilities that for the setup Iona, they've also won as well. So it is the opportunity really to again, it comes back to the practice that you've gotten, the scrims that the teams have gotten so far to try to get yet another victory. Just everyone fighting to stay in that mid to top table. And this is going to be a very important match for both of these teams as well.
Absolutely tend to agree as we see these teams rolling out. Double bubble coming up from Siena, Ryan Diva coming in from Iona, and Iona going to be taking the initiative to move towards that point. It's going to be Sethri who dives in a little bit aggressively, has to back out, use that bubble early on. Ace trying to keep them alive, sets themselves into the crossfire. Samek's going to be taking them down, and now with this, Iona going to be starting off very well here with already that first cap.
With the control and with the damage they were able to put in, hoping to get the amplification for that next fight. It is one of the ultimates that the teams are able to build fastest, already with that 70%. As I was just talking, Iona College looking good for next fight as well.
Gonna be big swings coming in from Oblivion, so
Ooh.
see, all gonna be changing tempo up a bit here. Majin on that casting gonna be looking to get Sethri out, and now Siena College might have a little bit of difficulty leaning in with their front line. Gone Krev as well has this amplification matrix up. Siena not pushing their efforts here. Oh, and a big Earth Shatter coming in. Oblivion's gonna be able to lean in, goes for the Fire Strike, gets one as well. Majin helping to clean up another, and Siena now gonna be going for that hard reset.
That is going to be needed as well. I want to see if the visor is able to do a little bit at least just to create the space for the team that Siena College has been waiting for. It's going to be good just to initiate into that fight along with the amplification, putting that extra damage, but then you're just going to force Iona right into point.
As we're seeing Siena coming through with a couple of changes, that tank line changing up well, in its entirety. Sethri Ace going to be going onto the Ryan Diva of their own. Iona College sending in that Diva self-destruct, going to be taken down life despite the immortality field coming out. Captain Kill OG going to be trying to come in with the attack visor, not able to find anything. SizG going to be able to take them out with a well-placed icicle to the back of the head. And just like that, Siena now really struggling to get on point with a few ultimates in their pocket for next.
A couple ultimates hoping to initiate with the tire, then hoping to connect the last couple kills with the nano, going into the Reinhardt. Really wishing that that is going to be enough for this team or Iona College if they're the ones initiating the next fight, especially with the Blizzard right into point. Is going to be that denial for what Siena College is looking for.
Iona College goes in with the Earth Shatter, doesn't find too much with it, but Sethri gets frozen out. Nobody from Siena able to touch.
Oh,
CJ
no.
Paul taking a little bit too much time to use that tire.
It was the worst possible timing for this team to connect with these ultimates, to use those ultimates. They had the opportunity, but that meant that someone had to touch and delay the fight for a little bit longer just to make those ultimates worth something. And we didn't really see it. So Iona College taking the advantage here in Ilios, hoping to maintain it. While Siena College, ideally with this change in composition, ideally with these changes that we might be seeing, especially for the DPS, we might be seeing a little bit more aggression coming through for this team. I see a Reaper. I want to see if they're going to keep it.
Be very interesting here as Siena College. If they're able to get Paul just right onto that point, anybody who has to come in from Iona College is going to be dealing with a lot of damage coming in from those Hellfire shotguns. However, Siena all going to be dependent on if they can get Paul ferried there and on point. Iona College once again taking the dominant space here, pushing their Reinhardt up. Samex sees the Reinhardt get flashed, used that defense matrix to try to keep him up for a little bit longer. Iona College really suffering here. CJ Paul trying to find an angle, but this Reinhardt just being so oppressive, and with Ace getting demech, now Siena College going to be suffering for a little bit of damage mitigation of their own. Majin able to take down Nourishment and Seth3. Siena are going to get that first cap, but there's not much they can do. Captain Kill trying to find something, but Majin just a little bit better on that cast.
At least for the first fights, we definitely see Iona College being able to stay on top. D.Va is going to be D-Mac. No opportunity here for Siena College. You have to wait a little bit longer for that mech to come back for everyone to be able to push together, while Iona College should be looking great. Just for that initiation, it's going to be a massive delay happening for this team in the meantime. While the percentage continues to grow, you're going to have the Shatter for Iona College to initiate. You're going to have the Deadeye as well for this Cassidy. And it is all that you can ask for.
Iona College perhaps not quite tuned in that Ace would be a little bit later on the respawn, despite Siena perhaps getting a bit aggressive, and Strachey going to be taken down by that Cassidy. Captain Kill OG perhaps getting a bit too confident off the back end of that, going to get themselves taken down. Earthshatter goes in, doesn't find much. Seth3 goes into return, finds equally as much. And now with the remake kill on to Seth3, things are still looking very good for Iona College. They're definitely on the right path.
Absolutely on the right path. Only 9%. I mean, Siena College, that was all that they were able to get in that fight. And it was all because of the positioning that allowed them to do so. Not really the kills coming through for them. And we saw massive delay that allowed Iona College to potentially, pass that 70%. Siena College, they're hoping to get some damage done now.
As we look ahead, two ultimates to keep in mind. Captain Kill has the High Noon, the Deadeye, and more importantly, the Death Blossom coming in from CJ Paul gets two, and the D-Mech eventually taken down by Majin. But it's going to be a late sound barrier coming in from Strachey, but nobody from Siena College falls in the duration. A missed headshot from Captain Kill means that they're going to be in a very tough 1v1 with Sizz on that Mei. Going to be stunned out, pushed back. Siena College does get point possession. Iona College now hanging on around that 86% zone. That is one fight territory, or at least very close to it. Oh, and a nice flashbang onto a Fan the Hammer onto Captain Kill. Gonna be finding the little that they can. Majin sees that D.Va Bomb go out, tries to find something, a little bit of an aggressive High Noon trying to come through there, not gonna quite be connecting with it. Now Seth3 just looking to swing ahead, find whatever they can, but with Majin going down, Iona might suffer here. A nice shatter block coming in from Oblivions. It's the return, equally blocked by Seth3. It's gonna be the D.Va Blizzard trying to come out. Captain Kill OG tries to get the Deadeye kill, does find it successfully, and Siena College coming in very victoriously here. Iona needed to reset a while ago, Dryad.
Finally, yes, some control coming through for the side of Siena College, hoping to keep it going with the amplification that is going to be ready, and it's actually ready for this next fight. Iona College, they were in the fight for way too long. A reset happening sooner would have been ideal.
Nourishment trying to hang around, but unfortunately eating an icicle there, and just like that, Siena gonna be wiped off. Iona looking like they just have to win one more fight here, Dryad.
One more fight is all that they need. 90%, and going up is this going to push for that overtime for the last potential for Siena College, but it's just not looking good. No opportunity to build those ultimates, at least as of right now, and the Deadeye just to initiate it is going to be effective enough.
Ooh, but not quite effective to keep Majin in this fight. Earthshatter into the D.Va Bomb finds nothing. CJ Paul finding two. And Seth was going in for a big pin to clean up. And now it's one fight territory. Once this flips, Siena College has one more to go.
Yeah, I said it was going to be effective enough, but this Cassidy getting taken down early on was just the opening that Siena College was waiting for. Not only to build those ultimates that they needed so bad, but to take control of the point. This is going to be a 99-99, a good way to start off on this match.
And CJ Paul has that Death Blossom. Keep eyes out. The response not quite there. Nobody even able to get on point. CJ Paul trying to slow him down, but it wasn't even necessary.
That was so close. They were about to touch the point, but no one was quite fast enough. And with that is going to be a 1-1 of the teams being able to stay on top. And that 99-99 is always a good indication of what we can see next.
And I feel a little let down there, Dryad. I was expecting at least one more fight. Well, I was expecting exactly one more fight. I called it even, you know, hey, it's going to be a final fight for either of these teams. Not quite the case, but on the plus side, we do get to go to well now.
Well, where we see a lot of different and very messy compositions coming through very often with the Roadhog. It feels like the only time that we see this hero being played, this tank being played, is in maps like this. And specifically this one, just getting the hook, just trying to throw some people off the well is always going to look good. It's going to give you that confidence that you need.
I'm a little hesitant here for Iona College's composition. That Roadhog and D.Va means that the concussive blasts, the hooks, are going to land extra well for Siena. Aced immediately getting the hook, not able to get the kill though, has to take a breather. Samex already getting D-mech. It just shows you how much damage mitigation is lacking from the composition of Iona. The big hook pull coming in. Aced almost getting knocked in. It's going to be Sethri getting absolutely knocked in. And CJ Paul continuing to try to take to the skies, focusing down that Mercy, but not able to do enough. Stretchy able to stay online and in the air. The hog hook actually prevents the soldier from going into the pit, and then Majin able to respond with a concussive boop of their own. CJ Paul taken down post facto, and just like that point flip.
Imagine on this Pharah has been doing so good, just putting that pressure, creating that space that the team really needs in the air, just to continue. I mean, almost getting that barrage compared to what we see from CJ Paul. That is not looking as close. Continuing to do so for the next fight is going to be ideal for this team, especially when you have the peeling, not only from the D.Va that is able to use the DM, but also from the Mercy to give you the extra healing.
Aced fishing for a hook, doesn't find it though, doesn't find the drop anyway, connects with the hook. It's going to be the immortality field onto the tanks, really committing to keeping them up and into the fight as long as possible. Aced setting up for another shot, doesn't find anything successfully once again. Captain has that Deadeye, not going to be able to use it this time around, gets taken down. Sis really being an expert with that soldier right now. Siena has a lot of ultimates online, but they're not going to use it lacking this many numbers.
The barrage has not been used just yet, hoping to wait until the next fight. And they're also, for the Iona College, they're also able to accumulate way more ultimates, which is exactly what they're looking for. 17% does not mean too much for Siena College, unless they're able to initiate next fight properly. And with 6 ultimates, that is what they're looking for, just denying that barrage potential from Majin, and with that going in with a supercharger.
Seth, we're going to be dropping that turbocharger, trying to get just that a little bit more damage, but it's immediately torn down. Sis able to take that off angled from the attention of the tanks. Captain taking a Helix rocket, catches the flying Mercy. And just like that, Siena might have the opportunity here. They're going to get the point flipping. That means that this needs to be a quick fight or a turnaround for Iona College. Captain Kill being kept alive and damage boosted by Nourishment. It's going to be very difficult for Iona to overcome that threat, especially with so many of their members already missing, but they're going to keep trying to fight on this point. Siena College being very proficient in keeping one member on the point at all times, whether it's that McCree or whether it's the Orisa. Iona College continuing having to break their necks to check both angles. CJ Paul with the rocket barrage might go for it. A direct impact onto Majin, not followed up though. And with that, Iona College is actually going to be getting the point flip, not quite dominant enough. Siena going to be dropping the rocket barrage, not able to get it, taken down by the Helix rocket. And then with the return, it's gonna be rather Majin trying to find something, finds instead nothing. Captain Kill now gonna be coming in with their own fair amount of damage. Nourishment taken down by a hook from Oblivions with the follow-up, in Iona now looking to make things theirs. They just have to clean up a couple more members, but the Deadeye coming in means the Captain Kill might have helped save this. That Mercy barely able to fly away, but not from the flashbang. This is going so back and forth, Triad.
It continues going back and forth, but the 99 is for Iona College. They're the ones staying on top of the game right now. They're the ones touching the point one by one. This Orisa fighting to connect the kill into the Pharah will not be able to do so. Just fighting now to stay on point, finally getting Majin, but it might be a little too late for the set of Siena College.
Yeah, Sethri taken too low. The Diva immediately chasing them down, and Iona gonna be coming out here with the big win on Ilios. It was only the first match, but if that's anything to go off of, this is gonna be a great matchup, Dryad.
Yeah, it is looking good. I mean, it was going back and forth, especially towards the end, especially with those kills. But it was just a matter of Iona College being so smart about how they wanted to play. They knew that all about those control maps. It's really taking control of the point right away. Also, Imagine was able to do that kill. It is so difficult to happen to get those and to connect those kills in the air, especially for the enemy Pharah. But it was, yeah, the control that we saw for this team. They lost the point for a little bit, but they were able to put that pressure into point, push everyone from the enemy team away. And that way they took control, they pushed it to the 99, and they only need a couple more kills to go.
Yeah, I have so many praises to sing for this team of Iona, particularly on that well map. I mean, I mentioned it before, Siena was doing a really good job of keeping either the McCree on one side or the Orisa on the other, just tiptoeing on that point, stepping on and off so they could receive healing when they needed it, just to try to draw out that timer, that progress meter up every little bit that they could. But in the end, Iona has their head on a swivel just enough to maintain that focus, to maintain that dominance there, and it came through in a big way. However, as we look towards our next map, we are going to be knowing that it's going to be that hybrid map. It's going to be that Blizzard world. Dryad, based off of what we've seen, do you think there's anything we saw in the last map that gives us a preview of Blizzard world?
Yeah, I think even though we might be seeing a little bit of the different compositions, especially coming through for the tanks, I think there's a big potential now for the side of Siena College to get a point of their own. And they had the right steps. They had a good Pharah as well, but they just couldn't connect because they didn't get the momentum from the beginning. I feel like if Siena is able to get the capture from the beginning, or even win that first fight on the defense, that is going to give them that extra ultimate advantage that they need so bad. Because again, that control was so back and forth, but it was a matter of who got the ultimates first, who was able to use them first, and to have them again first. And it was all around for the start of Iona College.
Yeah, absolutely. Iona College going to be putting up a very pleasing performance. But again, as we look towards that Blizzard world, I said it before in our last matchup with UConn versus South Alabama, but I'll say it again. That option for the tank lineup to change so severely, that Winston Zarya has some potential there. It all comes down to how these teams opt to execute it, if they decide to execute it, particularly on that second phase. But now we're going to be heading into Blizzard World, seeing exactly what these teams are feeling like. And I'm feeling like a little bit of skee ball right now. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. It's something about this map. I feel like this map has so many interesting things that I just look at Sombra. She's insane. How does she do it?
I don't know, man.
It's almost like she's hacking. I don't know.
That doesn't sound right. That sounds really out of character for Sombra. I gotta be honest. That doesn't sound
that
real.
Wouldn't happen. Yeah, no, but this map does have so many interesting things that we can look into. And even for, we look at the defense now, we look at the side of Siena College and what they're bringing. Even though I do like this composition, I love this Reinhardt and this Diva, it's gonna be all about the poke phase that they face towards the beginning. They have the Junkrat to do so. They also have the Ashe deal and the high ground putting that pressure in. But you don't have a double shield. You don't have a lot of protection as well for your team as their Rhine shield goes down.
Interestingly enough, Siena going to be opting to hold on the low ground. They'll be fortunate enough to get Samex out of that mech, but this low ground allows them to pivot to point a little bit easier, although it does give Iona College a relatively simple path to that high ground of their own. Captain Kill and CJ Paul going to be able to throw a lot of damage in a general direction, especially CJ Paul with those Junkrat pills, but the question is, what do they find? Oblivion's going to be reading out that trap. A nice Maywall coming out, the pin onto Sethri. Some coordination coming out from Iona. We love to see that. Samex, in fact, having enough time to build up a Diva mech once again. Siena College not getting as aggressive as perhaps they might have wanted. Majin actually able to get a Deadeye already, and just like that, Iona College leading in. This is looking like a solid first point for them.
I feel like I always talk about that potential of isolating the Reinhardt and taking him down. It's especially here in EGF, but this is one of the only times on this tournament that I'm able to see it happen, and it just works so well. You lose your main tank on the defense, nothing else that can be done, no other protection. That is why I was hesitant about this composition, but nonetheless, Siena, they still managed to get the high ground just because of the timing that they had towards the end, and hoping to solve the payload as soon as possible.
Trying to get any time off the clock from Iona will be a boon to Siena. The Amplification Matrix coming out with the Earth Shatter. Sethri, Aced, Booker all taken down, and it's going to be Majin who manages to be one of the most recent deaths, but Siena College not going to allow that to let them ferry forward. Instead, it will be Iona who instead continue moving the cart, continue getting this progress, and now they have possession of Pylon.
430 in the payload that does not stop. Also being able to connect that kill, I feel like it's so difficult, but this makes it so easy. Iona College continue to move that payload, continue to be the team on top, and Siena College need to find their footing, and it has to be now. They have a tire available to use and stop a little bit of this momentum.
Sam X going to be sending the Diva Bomb into the back, but everybody from the side of Siena scatters like ants, and because of that, CJ Paul is going to be taken down. That soldier quick to be cleaned up. The Baptiste not going to be able to hold out all on his own. That second point given over 5.5 minutes left for Iona.
And where was the tire? It is the second time that you see this Junkrat for the side of Siena College getting taken down, not able to use the tire, but this is the ultimate that you need to initiate with. No one else can get close enough, especially as you have the Reinhardt just getting into that better positioning. So Iona College, they just continue to move this payload, which really feels like has not even stopped.
This is now has this this blizzard coming through from main. They're just going to be looking to force down Aced or freeze Aced in that mech. Not going to be able to find it. However, CJ Paul has different plans, taking them out with a simple pill in mind. Combination immortality field forced out rather early from Siena, but with this kill advantage they have, they might be leading into it a little bit stronger. Diva Bomb going up and over, not finding anything. However, Samek's going to be able to chase down CJ Paul and get the tire out in the same swipe. Oblivion's going in for the Earth Shatter, but it hasn't changed the tempo dominantly for Iona just yet. Sethri caught in a rough spot with nobody to help them because of that Mei wall. Sizz on this Mei being extremely impactful.
Yeah, there's so much that this Mei is able to do. I mean, we saw it from the beginning on this map. That first fight was won just because of that wall, able to isolate the Reinhardt. Then we saw a couple kills, delaying that next push. And now, again, continues to move. Does have the Blizzard for this next fight. That's going to create so much space for this team of Iona College.
Iona College, again, still has that Blizzard. CJ Paul caught in a very uncomfortable spot, takes an icicle to the back, and without that, there's not a lot of damage buildup that can happen for the ultimate of the Junkrat. Sizz trying to take cover behind an angle, but Captain Kill doesn't care about any of that when they can just focus down with that tack visor. A late high noon coming in from Majin, perhaps to the detriment of Iona. Although Majin able to turn it around, Iona able to lead in off the back end of it, not letting up off the gas, and that is essentially your strategy with their team. Going to be giving them the amp, going to be giving them the speed, trying to just get any progress that the cart can make. Still 3 minutes left.
There is so much time remaining. The Blizzard are still going to be available for this team. The Shatter as well going to deny any potential for Siena College to touch towards the end. No Wrecking Ball is going to be enough, or even the Baptiste. Nothing else can block the damage for this Shatter. And with that 3 minutes and 15, that is insane here in Blizzard World.
That's a really good time for Blizzard World, and Siena College, they're going to now be looking at a little bit of an uphill battle.
Just so much momentum that this team of Iona College has been able to get. We saw it on that first map. We saw a different kind of composition coming through. But for this one, I mean, I just want to continue seeing this Mei because it was so effective, isolating targets one by one. We saw it, again, we saw at the beginning with the Reinhardt. We saw at the end with the Junkrat. Then you have the Blizzard available, using it right when they needed to, just denying any potential to touch. And Iona College now managing to stay on top of the game, managing to look so much better as a team. And we can see the progress that Iona has been having from their first week here in EGF to today.
Yeah, definitely looking like much improvement being had for Iona. And now we're going to be seeing a little bit of an invert here. Iona at least looking to opt into that Junkrat this time around. Siena, we knew, tried at their first defense, especially on this first point. It didn't really find so much with them, but Iona going to be holding in a very similar position as well.
Yeah, very similar, playing very aggressive with the rush, knowing that they're able to get value out of it, and also knowing that the poke phase with the Junkrat is going to be enough to break that shield of the enemy main tank, which this time around is going to be Siena College bringing a Winston. I'm not sure how I want to feel about that. You might be able to get the high ground, but then jumping into the backline when you have this Strassi on the Lucio and also the Baptiste, there's so much opportunities for protection for the side of Iona.
Yeah, outside of those movement abilities, Siena just not going to be able to catch their opponent. Oblivion's catching Sethri with a nice fire strike on that end. And now it looks like Iona College aren't going to be using that Lucio to get really aggressive here without that Winston to stop any of the damage. It's going to be Majin taking down Booker, but this is just a slow roll from Iona. They're slowly draining the life out of their opponents, and that might be better for them in the time bank even then.
Yeah, absolutely. It's just going to look better and better for Iona College the longer that these fights go on, the longer that they're able to delay the enemy team to come all together and push again. So Siena College, they still want to push with this Winston. And again, if they're going to push with this Winston, this double bubble is going to be all about the high ground potential. We definitely see it now.
We saw it. Sam X immediately taking down Sethri, but Ace, I don't think they even had that projected barrier on Sethri to prevent any of that damage coming through. And it looks like Sethri's going to decide to opt out of it, switching into that Reinhardt. But still, just the damage trying to come through from Siena. They just need to catch themselves, take a breath, and regroup as a whole.
Sethri definitely needed to change, so I'm really glad to see that now with the Reinhardt is going to be a lot better with the rush matchup and even having that protection of the bubble from your Zarya if they don't want to switch. Look at that. It's already the improvement that we see just from this composition.
But keep steady. Majin has Tac Visor in the back lines, taking down that Baptiste, but there's not enough of their team left standing. High Noon, rather the Deadeye coming in from Captain Kill. It's going to be the self-destruct going online, buying enough time, and Nourishment somehow caught out inside all of the chaos. Samex buying as much time as they can. Oblivion's going to be on the slow backup. They don't want to feed over any ult charge.
Oblivion deciding to back up, was ready to go again and ready to jump right into point, but once you lose your diva, there's not much that you can do. There's not much protection as well if you lose your shield, so it's gonna be backing up, playing it patiently. Really good job here, knowing that this is all about the high ground this time around.
Oh no, the Junkrat threw a concussion mine, goes right to CJ
no.
Paul, brings them towards the Junkrat, has to use the second one, but Majin just going skeet shooting, taking that shot out right in the sky, and Siena College with both of their DPS down now. It's going to be Iona leaning in on that a little bit, knowing that they don't really have to contest with too much damage coming in on their end. They're just going to be leaning into those juicy tanks and the soft supports, as now they reclaim cart. Big Earth Shatter coming in from Sethri. CJ Paul trying to combo with a Death Blossom. They get a couple of kills, but it's not going to be enough. Iona still maintaining the dominance here.
Still managing to stay on top of the payload is not going to move, or in fact is going to start moving back just for a couple seconds where Siena College is able to come back. They have both of the support ultimates. Give the nano to the Reinhardt, just allowing him to build that shatter again would be an ideal situation for this team. They definitely needed it for the street phase.
Let's see if Sizz is going to be using this Junkrat tire early on, perhaps waiting for a rough engagement coming in from the Ryan or the Zarya, able to cash out those backlines and make this an easier fight for Iona. But with Majin going down using that Tac Visor, I believe that's the second time we've seen Majin try to be crafty with that Tac Visor, but not quite finding it. Sizz has the tire in the background, doesn't clip onto Captain Kill. I'm not sure if that was perhaps just some geometry that broke line of sight or if they had already avoided that damage. Maybe a well-timed projected barrier, but either way, Siena College not looking to stop during the streets phase.
And we can definitely see the process going behind the Junkrat. Having the tire, pulling it, but knowing that there was an immortality feel. So waiting for the team to take it down, not able to take it down, and actually it was this team, in fact, who lost the fight. Nothing else that could have been done. Iona College, at least, they didn't use too many ultimates. They still have both of the support ultimates again to use for this fight, but so do Siena, and now they also have quite a lot of time to work with.
I like this swap from Sizz coming out on this Mei. It's going to be the self-destruct just to buy a little bit of space here. Samx able to get one kill, well, rather get the destruction of that immortality field. And now we're seeing Iona get real aggressive here, especially Oblivion's just leaning in with that hammer. Although I guess in this skin it's an axe.
Yep, and also one of my favorite things to see as well for Iona College is that they know exactly when they have to win fights. They know exactly what part of the map is the most important for them. We saw they don't want to lose that corner control. Everyone also peeling for this Reinhardt backing up, but again, they don't want to pass this corner or everything gets a lot more difficult.
An excellent read coming in from Sizz, but it's not enough to save their team. They get into that cryo form, but there's only so little they can do here. And now Siena College look to be on a roll. They're already behind in time, but can still make a pretty decent showing of things. Ace has that grab, gonna be looking for it the second that defense matrix comes out from Samx, or even better, the second that they get demeched. They're gonna be looking for that opportunity. It's gonna be the amplification coming online. Sound barrier for Iona, trying to keep everybody alive. Ace still in the fight, however, not going to be throwing that ultimate out just yet. Sethri, despite having the nano, gets taken down, and that means they can't swing into this grab. The high noon coming in from Majin means everybody has to try to reposition, and that's a wasted ult in and of itself. 3 ultimates from Siena gets them very little progress.
And it seems like Ace, they thought that there was a couple other members of his team still alive, able to capitalize from this grab, but it was the complete opposite scenario. Everyone that could have helped with the grab was already taken down, and losing that potential for that fight just with that grab. So like you said, wasting the ultimate completely and not really having much to work with for next fight.
Iona not looking extremely wealthy in those ultimates of their own. Oblivion has the Earth Shatter, gets sent right into Sethri's shield. Sethri taking a lot of damage, has to back out that Diva. Samx not in the fight, only going to be in baby form. CJ Paul ready for the Death Blossom drop if they can find it. Instead, setting up for a teleport, goes right onto the throne. Looking to come in from behind, drops the Death Blossom immortality field, can only save so much. Sethri with the big pin gets the kill either way, Death Blossom or no. And just like this, looks like the damage is too much for Iona. Looks like something's gonna have to give, and it's the majority of their life. High noon coming in, Majin taking down 1, but there's only so much damage it can do. Now it's just a matter of buying time off the clock, but this is about where it stops. About 47 seconds on the clock for Siena. Gets rounded up to a minute.
Nothing else that can be done, and yeah, around a minute that they're going to have Iona College. They took advantage from the beginning when they started attacking, when they had so much time remaining. That is just scary to be in a positioning of Siena for this next round, knowing that there's not a lot of time remaining for you, just hoping to make the best out of it, even though it took them quite a long time. Hopefully they don't go Winston again though.
I think I tend to agree with you on that one, Dryad. It will be Siena on the attack to start with the lower time bank. And a minute on Blizzard World, that means 1, maybe 2, if you're able to make them really fast, but not a huge opportunity to build a lot of ults that aren't support.
It really just came towards the end. It was a little bit of a roll that we saw happening on this second part of the map, even for the set of Siena, but then it got stopped. The momentum got stopped immediately when Iona College had enough ultimates to use, had enough other shatters to use and to rotate towards the end. Couldn't be enough, but it was quite enough just to waste as much time as possible from the enemy team. And Siena College, again, it just comes back to, I don't think they're gonna play Winston again, so it's just a rush versus rush, and who's able to stay on top, especially when the off tanks always look so different between the two teams. You can see the Sam feels so comfortable on the debuff, eats a lot of damage with the DM, but Ace as well. The biggest mistake that we saw was that grab early on, so hopefully they're able to connect it more effectively. Because they don't have a lot of time, they might be getting 1, just depending on how far they're able to make that payload go.
Yeah, one thing worth mentioning, Ace on that Zarya is going to feel a little bit more comfortable the longer these fights go on, but that comes at the cost of the time clock just wearing itself down, although not going to look like it matters too much for Siena right off the bat. Majin immediately taken down. Sethri having to shield up, break that ice contact coming through. Siena manages to get 1 frozen. Sethri now taken down, and Iona College now going to be in man-up position. Oblivions has that Earth Shatter, might be looking for it, backing up, trying to find the proper angle. If they can get it, this is going to be setting them up in a great way. Time clock already down to 10 seconds. This is going to be looking like last fight if Iona can stop it. gonna slowly be the entirety of Siena moving towards, but they lose both their DPS, and once again, that's a situation you never want to be in. Ryan trying to charge in, Samix getting them as they fall to the ground. No progress made for Siena, meaning Iona College is at worst a draw.
That shatter towards the end just to deny anyone else from touching the point. It was only 2 members actually remaining, but nothing else could have been done. And yeah, like I said, 3 minutes 27. There's so much time for Iona just to get a 1 take, just to get that 33%. It can be a bad positioning happening for Siena on the defense, or it can be just winning a single fight just to guarantee to win. This team of Iona College is able to win the second map as well.
Iona certainly going to be liking the looks of that if they're able to pull it off. And Siena, based off the performance we've seen, it's not going to be impossible for them to hold for the 3.5 minutes. It's just going to be a little bit tougher than perhaps they'd like it to be. 3.5 minutes, that's going to be about 3 pushes at the rate we saw Siena's attack phase go. But Iona College, again, doesn't want to let these fights go long. Ace is going to start building up a lot of energy if that's the case.
It's gonna be taking the fights one by one. This is what Siena College wants to do. Just taking care of everything. Look at that synergy. Look at them.
Yeah.
They're just hanging out. They're just having fun. But yeah, it's all going to be about Siena College and the way that they take those fights, the way that they clean up those fights and delay the next one from happening. This is what Iona College was able to do so effectively when we saw them attacking early on, and hoping once again to do it if you are Siena College. You're just poking the damage, just putting the pressure, breaking the shields with the Junkrat damage that is able to come through, and trying to get the ultimate as soon as possible, especially that nano.
Interestingly enough, this time we're not going to be seeing Captain Kill on the Ashe. Instead, it's going to be the McCree. Majin trying to go for the Iona. Nourishment taken down instead by Sizz, but Sizz then turned around by Captain Kill. It's going shot for shot right now, but that favors the attackers, at least in this instance. Captain Kill now taking down that main tank in Oblivions, and Iona still has the opportunity here. Majin holding down that trigger, trying to find the kills. Can't quite find the Zarya, getting a little bit frustrated, but Strachey eventually covers their back with that. Going to be the amplification matrix coming through, and this looks like it's all said and done for Iona. That progress just has to tick up. Strachey coming in with 3 kills. Majin acting like nothing happened with that Zarya. I didn't see anything.
I didn't see anything. It was just Strachey being able to get 3 kills towards the end, cleaning up the damage that the rest of the team was able to put in, and getting that final blow happening, taking us to once again match point. Iona College, they were the least favorites here, but so far they've been able to just do so good, just to know exactly how to counter the enemy team, how to play aggressive, and what positions to play, and really what is going to work out the most. Because again, we saw Siena College bringing out early on the Winston. They realized that it didn't work and they made that swap, but by the time they made it, they had already wasted over a minute that they're not going to be able to get back.
Yeah, I definitely have to agree here. Iona College just overall looking very well practiced on what they like to run, right? We're not seeing them flex too much into compositions that might be considered outside of their wheelhouse. They're just staying very trim, very comfortable running up against Siena. And not to take anything away from Iona, but we're seeing Siena drop the ball a couple times. You mentioned it, that Zarya grab when nobody was there. It's a resource you'd really like to have for that next fight. Either way, Siena has the opportunity to reflect, come back into the next matchup on Volskaya. A little bit refreshed, folks. We are going to be taking a quick break, so stick around. Hello, folks, and we are back, and we're here at Volskaya. That'll be Siena College coming in for their defense, and they need to have a pretty good defense because this might be where it ends for them if they don't try it.
Yeah, they're really hoping for a change of pace. They're hoping to bring out more aggression, especially on the defensive side. Building those ultimates first is going to be the key. But once again, the mid wall isolating the Reinhardt, trying to stay alive for a little bit longer. Opposite, they're already getting taken down. This is not looking good already.
But both sides are going to be losing their main tank. However, it's going to be Siena who has their entire tank line gutted. Iona still able to try to get back into this fight, but with Captain Kill OG trying to stay huddled up in that bunker. Anybody who enters going to be hit immediately with a flashbang, as we saw onto Antex. Now, as we look ahead here, Siena continuing to just maintain this point, making sure that Iona can't get anywhere near it.
A little bit of a messy fight, especially towards the end for Iona College. They thought they could go back in, just waiting for Oblivion to come back. But it was the opposite scenario, where it was the ones who still alive who now got taken down have to wait a little bit longer. It was looking good, especially when they took down Sethi on that Reinhardt. That was really the opening. They just couldn't all work together to push into that point. Everyone was in different positioning, some of them on the high ground, some of them still all the way in backside, and nothing else could have been done. It is good though, because both of the teams now have the ultimates to use for the next fight.
CJ Paul crucially has that tire. We'll see if it becomes a proper initiator. I don't think we've seen CJ Paul get too many kills with that tire, but with the read coming in that Iona is up on that high ground, might give CJ Paul a targeted area to really focus down. Might wait for Kreb to use that immortality field before they go into it, but that only buys enough time. It's going to be the high noon coming out, and Captain Kill able to get one onto that Lucio, and now with things turning around, Iona might have the opportunity, but no, it's going to be the nano boost coming in onto Sethri, giving them a little bit more punch and a little bit more health pool, a little bit more damage resistance, I should say. Sethri and Ace both going to be swinging through, and now it looks like these tanks are communicating a little better.
The positioning, yeah, for Sethri was looking so much better now. Just holding point, just waiting for the ultimates to come through. Waiting for the Deadeye, who was going to force the immortality to come in from Krev. Was putting so much pressure, was putting the damage, was putting the kills, but towards the end, not so much healing can be done, especially if you use your mortality early on. So hoping that things are going to change around, hoping to get that ultimate again as soon as possible, while Siena College still have the tire available.
Iona College needs to start making some progress on to point. Not that they're not trying, but they just need to start getting some point pressure. Ace taken down, and then the Reva killing Sethri. Huge for Iona, as speak it, and it shall go into existence, apparently. CJ Paul gonna be focusing down that Diva mech, but cleaned up with a fire strike from Oblivion's. Iona College now just trying to clean the last few remaining members of Siena off point. They've made some progress, and now this is no longer gonna be a draw situation, at least as far as first point's concerned.
Finally able to get this point, and they were running out of time, but Iona College was able to do it in time. Is going to be the reset for the Diva, trying to get the mech back, and we definitely have a snowball potential. It's going to be the Reaper coming through with the ultimate, the Shatter as well, and also an opening pick already. This Junkrat from CJ Paul getting taken down.
Rough loss coming in for Siena College, and Majin now just going to be looking to hang behind this immortality field. Oblivion's actually going in for a little bit of the style slam, trying to get Booker, successfully does so. It's going to be the grab going in, but once again, no Ryan to really swing into it. Sethri gets the nano, but there's only so much they can do. One of the rare moments we see point two potentially take less time than the first point.
Yeah, it is just a snowball again coming through. The Reaper hasn't even used the ultimate yet. You're still waiting for the right timing. It's all about touching the point one by one, hoping for the best if you're Siena College.
And the best is only going to be leading you into a blender, but a big Earth Shatter coming in leads to 4 getting knocked down. However, Sethri just doesn't have the backup. Nobody able to clean up with that damage. Iona College only getting stalled out for a few moments, 2 minutes and 40 seconds left.
Quite a long time, especially here in Volskaya. It seems like very unusual. It's not, we don't see it happening very often as well. Like you said, the snowball potential, even though it's always there after you get that first point. Going in and being able to effectively make it happen can be so difficult, but with the opening pick that we saw on the Junkrat, you just deny any possibilities for the defense to put the damage that you wanted to tried to break the shield, at least that everyone's hiding behind. So Siena Color's not looking too good on the defense, but still able definitely to match the timing.
Yeah, certainly not out of the realm of possibility, but Siena's gonna have to put in just a little bit of work. Now they're gonna be up on the attack, Iona up on the chopping block for defense, and we're seeing a little bit more of the standard Orion Diva, the Soldier, and Reaper coming out antics on that Reaper. What do you think about that, Dryad?
You know, the Reaper is one of those heroes that I'm usually hesitant to see, but if you are Iona College, if you are holding a defense, especially with this rush, I think it's going to work out. I think it can be a lot more effective, even though these are not the most common heroes that we see, especially in the meta of Overwatch, where we're most likely to see someone like a Tracer coming in. When you're playing this rush and when you have the synergy that Iona College has, it is just so good with that extra damage holding up close and putting that pressure that Siena College like, haven't been able to deal with.
Oblivion's going in for an early fire strike, just trying to find some sort of damage, and Sam X going to be looking to do a very similar thing here with this Diva, just held up on high, and nobody from Siena really checking. It's going to be Nourishment who eventually keeps eyes up towards the roof. Sam X able to dash forward, trying to knock anybody ahead into the waiting arms of Iona College. Maywall comes out, but it doesn't really section off who it needs to, and despite increased healing, Sethri gets taken down, antics as well. Now both sides losing one, but Iona College losing a little bit more as Oblivion's next to fall. Siena College going to be getting the vibe that they can lead in here, almost taking down Sam X, or at least the focus was there to try to take them down. Another Maywall coming in, but again, no follow-up from Siena. CJ Paul definitely doesn't look as practiced as we've seen Iona College be on this May. Still finding some value for it, though.
Yeah, but it seems like the wall just came in a little bit too early. The amplification is going to come through as well to guarantee the last couple of kills that Iona College needs to win that fight. And yeah, you lose the Ana, you lose every chance here. It seems like this Cassidy as well has been trying to get a couple kills for the side of Siena College. She was able to get 2 opening picks, in fact, for this fight, for the first fight that we saw. But again, it's just a matter of the team not capitalizing out of it, actually. Will get taken down, going for that reset, trying to make it happen as soon as possible. Siena College, at least the fight lasted long enough to be able to build the blizzard that we've been waiting for.
Yeah, now Oblivion's going to be looking for a nice Earth Shatter to stop Siena College in their tracks, and they may want to do it before Ace and Sethri can start to build up their ult. CJ Paul has that Blizzard, has to be keeping an eye on Samix and their cooldown. We're going to be looking for that freeze. Earth Shatter goes in, not able to find much, but Booker gets taken down. Blizzard goes out, Rav goes out, rather. Sethri able to swing for 3 either way. Captain kill on this high ground, able to take down 2, 1 with the Deadeye. Now with that first point is all but secured for Siena.
Was there too many ultimates though? The grabs, the Nano, the Blizzard, and the Deadeye coming through for Siena College just to guarantee that fight. Ensure you're able to get the kills and you do what it takes to win those fights. But it's looking rough. They now have to initiate trying to go for the same snowball to potential that we saw for Iona College with the Riley coming on early on and just hoping that with that extra damage you're able to get the kills.
You also have to consider Iona has that sound barrier, has the self-destruct to buy themselves a little bit more time, and Siena doesn't find anything for that Earth Shatter. Now because of this, Iona going to be in a very good spot. It's that Diva taken down. Reinhardt, I believe, fell, got stunned somehow, had to drop shield because of some sort of ability, and because of that, Diva, or rather the Zarya Ace, gets taken down from the bomb. And now Oblivion's able to just swing towards the DPS, knowing that they can't do too much about this. And even if they do, even if Oblivion's gets taken down here, just the respawn's going to be too fast. And DJ Paul perhaps pressing a little bit too aggressively.
A little too aggressive, but the defense is able to come up on top. The sound barrier, more importantly, is still going to be available for the stream strategy. Did a really good job at holding that ultimate, even if it looks like Iona was having a little bit of difficulty. Not using this ultimate was going to be key for next fight, as the team is able to build a bomb just to throw it into point again.
See the Nano go out onto Sethri, trying to once again lead their way onto point, but Sethri going to be taking a lot of damage from Bob. The Mei wall comes up, but that forces Bob to focus down those backlines, making them have to take cover, meaning that Reinhardt can't get much healing. Sethri then has to take a knee, back out slowly, and Oblivions, as well as Samex, are able to just lean ahead, even though they're antied. Gonna be big swings coming in, big kills overall. Iona College still maintaining control.
And CJ Paul, I don't know if they wanted to use that wall to protect the team against the Bob, or what was the point, because it really just separated the point from the team, which is the opposite that you're trying to do in this scenario, denying the potential to jump into the point to put that pressure that they wanted into point. So Iona College is able to regain that space, regain that momentum into the defense, and now looking forward to play aggressive again.
Siena College, a lot of ultimates online. The shield would have blocked from Oblivions, but not quite able to connect. Instead, rather jumps back, leaving two of their members exposed. And with that, might be the tempo change that Siena College needs, but they lose too many early on antics with this Reaper. Even though the Rhine takes a little bit of a sleep, a little bit of a drop, still able to cover their blind spots, able to deal that damage as necessary.
The way that Siena College initiated this fight as well, it was Sethri using that shatter, connecting to the D.Va of Sam, and then charging, and that was the mistake. They charged into point, charged into the backline of the enemy team, and got taken down finally by this support. So Iona College still looking on top. They have everything they could need to have Bob again.
And Bob gonna be separating, or rather sent into the back lines. The Earth Shatter onto Sethri means that Nano Boost is gonna be taking a little bit longer to get into swing range. An eat from Samex, the Death Blossom coming in from Antics, and just like that, Siena College invests a lot.
They invest pretty much every ultimate that they had, but they're able to win that fight, and so much time that has been wasted now for Siena College, who will be having less time if we're able to see another round here in Volskaya. And Iona College, in the meantime, they just have the right ultimates as well to use. They have the amplification that is going to delay that next push. They have the Self-Destruct, throwing it into the backline, hoping to get a couple kills, hoping to get the Ana. Should be enough, and Siena College, they're running out of ideas here. Oh no.
Running out of ideas and out of life, with Captain getting taken down so early on. Just like that, Oblivion's now getting sectioned off. That could be crucial for Siena. They may have lost Captain Kill early on, but they had an opportunity. The Earthshatter goes in. Iona College tries to go in for their pin, but Sethri gets picked up from behind. Sethri leading a bit too heavy off the back end of that, and Iona College was in a super vulnerable position, but Siena just can't hold on.
Yeah, there's nothing else that can be done. Once again, we've seen so many of the mech kills coming through, especially on this match, especially today, and Iona College is able to keep them going. There's going to be one last fight opportunity, one last chance. Siena College already wasted so many ultimates, hoping that the Deadeye should be enough to be the opener for the next fight. Majin, though, getting taken down.
Yeah, Siena College has to get on point, and even if they do at this rate, it'll only result in a draw. Captain Kill has to stay behind, try to hit something with this Deadeye, but the Mei wall gonna be restricting the lines of sight that they're able to take. Oblivions has that Earthshatter, goes for it, just hits two. The grab with the high noon, not able to find anything. That immortality field keeping everybody from Iona alive. However, Siena still holding on. Strachey on this Mercy almost gets frozen, able to navigate away. However, now we see them leaning in. A Mei wall providing cover for Strachey, able to get the res onto the Reaper as well. So much healing, so much benefit coming in from this Mercy. The Ash able to throw the dynamite, explode the face of Ace, and now just like that, Iona able to just get these few remaining stragglers. Overtime ticks down, and Iona takes it at a 3-0.
A 3-0 again that we see today, and we saw it first. We thought that if there was anyone getting away with a 3-0 today between the two teams, it was going to be Siena. We talked about the scores that these two teams had at the beginning, but Iona College, they proved so much improvement so far. They really made the changes necessary. They were the ones who were initiating those fights every single time and able to get away with fights that honestly shouldn't have happened.
Yeah, I mean, Iona looking spectacular. Siena perhaps looking a little bit frustrated there for a bit, certainly a little bit disconnected. Whether that tends to be a long-term, I guess, miscommunication or something that's just for this week, just for today, it'll remain to be seen. But either way, we're going to have a word from one of the members of Iona College here in just a little bit, Dryad, and I'm super excited.
Yep.
Hello and welcome back, everyone. We are here in the interview booth. We are sitting down with Amadra. Amadra, hello, welcome, congratulations.
Hello, and thank you.
So we were kind of talking a little bit before this break. I should have introduced you as the captain slash coach for Iona. My apologies. I'll give you the respect you deserve right there on that. But as a captain, did you have any, I guess, kind of preparation specifically for your match against Siena, or was this more so just kind of a culmination of all the games you've been playing thus far?
A bit of both. We watched, obviously, their VOD reviews previously, kind of scouting them out, trying to see what they would do and what we should have expected. And then we also have been being assisted by another team, Colorado University, in
Ah,
preparation for this match.
okay. That makes a lot of
Yeah.
sense. Colorado, definitely one of those good teams to get help from.
Yeah, and especially because we were looking at the scores that you guys have in Siena College House, but you guys definitely have shown some improvement. Do you think that comes from, is it the coaching? Is it the synergy working with the team a lot better? Is it just everyone really figuring out what they want to play? What do you think the success, especially for the match day, comes from?
I think it's been almost everything. We are a first-year team, so it's mainly just all of us been learning how to play with each other and getting used to
Yeah.
playing with each other. We all had to figure out what roles we filled in the team, and I think we're pretty much have figured that out. Now we just got to keep working, on improving.
And when we saw that first map in Ilios, it was the map that was looking the closest. Why do you think that happened?
We were trying out a new player. So I'm not gonna try pronouncing the name. I'm not good at that. But our support, the Lucio support, we were trying that
Yes.
out, and we haven't played too much with that player yet. So I'm assuming that it's only gonna see improvement
Right.
upon future matches.
All right. Well, fantastic. I mean, obviously, a successful game so far. You took it 3-0. I don't think you could ask for a much better score line than that. Uh, Again, thank you very much for coming in here and answering a few of our questions. Before we do let you go, however, I want to give you the opportunity to give any shout outs, whether it's to your team, the enemy team, whoever you feel deserves it.
I would like to shout out Colorado University, obviously. I would like to shout out Brandon and the rest of my team, who is right here.
Look at that, a nice family portrait. But once again, thank you for hopping in here, answering a few questions. And in case I haven't said it enough, congratulations.
Thank you.
And with that, Dryad, we are about ready to wrap things up for this game. Another 3-0, but by far a much more high intensity one, at least if
Yeah.
you're asking me. However, folks, we're not done. We have one more game to go. Hang in with us throughout the break. We will be right back, so stick around.